Good morning, dear friends and families across the globe, wherever you're joining me from. For more than 20 years, I've been trying to write a book about personal journey, collection, and thought, academic success, failure. It became so very hard to find a specific topic, subject matter, so to speak, to write down my reflections on my thought of my personal life and journey and experience. I could not find a title. I had many funny titles. They don't actually explain how I get into the conclusion on what exactly I want the world to know about Bolakum or the journey of Akum did myself. Well, it didn't took that long. Um, it began with this kind of thought in my head. Imagine yourself being a child with funny name, funny family background. You're not Dinka enough, you're not Nuer enough, and you're not South Sudanese enough. You're just in between. And you don't understand any other type of culture. You create your own cultures of understanding of life. Imagine yourself being that kind of child. Imagine any art of success that you might find yourself dreaming, thinking of. That some days I want to be a doctor, some days I want to be an engineer, some days I want to be a military general, some days I want to be a president. The arts of getting there and be what exactly you're dreaming of in a country where the only way you can succeed, you have to be attached to somebody. Imagine yourself being that kind of child. Imagine having done everything there is, laughing jokes, serious stuff, fighting battles, being defeated, being called names, being trash, and the list goes on. Well, friends, I am that kind of child. My story is a story of a child that was told by my own family members growing up with that, you are nothing. You can never be anything in this world. And instead of fighting to validate being something, I just had to survive in a world far away from my own understanding. I did not grow up like many of you, mom and dad, uncles and brothers, sisters and brothers. I did not grow up in such kind of family dynamic situation. I did not grow up having anything, not even shoes, not even clothes. From the moment I was born, I started facing difficulties with my own personal journey of life. A journey that took me more than 40 years to be able to understand why was that so. Grew up a happy child like any other child. Mom there, dad there. Just didn't know who was my mom because never had a chance to see how she looked like. The people who were married to my mom tend to think my mom is a tall woman, taller than my dad, with big eyes like me, and light skin. So I guess maybe that's what makes me different. As a child growing up among cultures, raised in Khartoum, came to the village in Dukpadiet, 1985 through 1986, just to find myself relocate again for another journey in Exodus. Never returned back. Know nothing much about cultures. Everything that I've learned it on my own throughout the journey, like many other of you. That is the kind of imagination that got me the title of my book called Against the Odds. I'm one of those people that have been told I can never be anything in life because I don't have all the support needed by either my family background or the community I come from or the opportunity to do certain things that sons and daughters of the rich have the opportunity to do. Well, you name it, I've done it. The only thing that I've never done is stealing or wishing I can be much better than anybody else. I've always been underdog. I'm a man with so many funny stories. While some of you are sleeping, wondering about the world events, I'm creating events myself. I'm creating stories to be told. And I'm sure to those of you I grew up around knowing who I am, I'm one of those type of people. When you tell me, Bola, this is terrible, this is risky, it cannot be done, I say, watch, I'll do it. I'll do it because I don't have a choice. I don't have any possibility of success until I create a story out of it. And it become the reason why I'm writing a book called Against the Odds. Against the Odds is a book that will give you, it would be a type of book you will not read without crying, without crying, without feeling shame, without asking God why allowed such type of people to. And if you're a child who have been thrown under such circumstance in life, you'll see a little bit of your part of your experience in me. Prime example, I do like to take risks in things that are not normal to men like me. 1992, I was in a death camp. A story that I hardly tell people because it sounds like some kind of illusion or fiction. I was in a death camp in Nasser. The people around me who knows the story knows exactly what the story was all about. But by God's grace, I managed to leave because it was not a place I need to be. It was against the odds of anything there is in the book of life. But God made it possible for me. I came to a volatile Kakuma refugee camp where I faced challenges. Whether I adapt to the new understanding of local surrounding and blend in and fit, or choose a different path. Well, in Kakuma, I choose a different path. Where I allowed the sons of the rich and the daughters of the rich to sing their song, to go to dance. Bolakum would go and cook. Bolakum would go and do things that embarrass the community. Communities was fine, like, oh, why is this person so different? Well, I'm so different because the odds against me of succeeding are zero. So to me, the only way I know how to do is create situation. Create situation that will enable me to succeed. So while in Kakuma doing what I did to cook for myself, I realized that if I never choose to cook for myself, I don't have a mother in Kakuma, I don't have a brother in Kakuma, I don't have uncles in Kakuma, I have a bunch of family members. But life was so hard for children like me who were disconnected from their parent, who don't have much to survive on. So against all the odds, I survived. I managed to go to school in Kakuma refugee camp. Against all the odds, I was able to perform much better than children whose parents were living with them. And a lot of children learn a lot of lessons from me. And I made a lot of great friends. Against the all odds, I survived. Same goes, my immigration journey was not also easy because immigration journey was a subject matter related to who you know. who you know, who's connected to who got your back. That was how immigration in Kakuma was done. Or if you have money. Well, I didn't have money. I didn't know anybody. Nobody cared about me. So I just pray to God and ask God, what purpose do I live? What purpose do I have in this world? Well, you'll find a lot of against the odds in the book that I'm writing, against the odds. Against the odds will give you a 3 dimensions concept of life itself. When life is beating you down, have faith and have hope. Have reason to live life for. Don't live life because you want to prove anything to anybody. Prove it to yourself. You're worthy of that life that you have. You don't owe anybody anything in this world. You owe yourself the gratitude of life itself. Live life with no regret. That's how I figured it out. So now, against the all odds, I'm not going to spill a lot of bills. I'm not going to spill a lot of beans into the conversation. I'm just giving you a glimpse of what is it that make that book title Against the Odds. I'm not someone who's supposed to would have made it in life to live life and share table with sons of elites or diplomats or go to palaces or be a human being with purpose in life. The odds of living, getting here was very hard. The art of making it was impossible. Even in the United States, I faced a lot of challenges. I faced a lot of betrayal, a lot of backstabbing. I thought being kind, being honest, being helpful to the society will make the society love you more. Turned out it was a recipe for disaster. It was a recipe for few to take advantage of you and use you for their own personal interests. Seen it in where I came from, North Carolina. I have 5 years experience, memories, recollections. I gave my heart, I gave everything there is in life. Just to realize at the end of the story, it wasn't enough. So those of you who are watching this video and those of you who knows my upbringing, I want you to share your thought in the book that I'm writing. It is a family book that you will read to your children. It is a book that will remind you that no matter what you're going through as a man or as a woman, your effort can provide opportunities that the devil try to close against you. Your effort can make you a better person or a different person than what your friends are beginning to believe against you. What you believe inside your heart cannot be taken away from you by anybody or by any circumstance. Your hope to live life give you purpose. Your humanity should never be broken by any circumstance. You must live to that principle as a human being always. So I welcome my families from Dukpadiet, to whom I grew up with, to whom my mom is married, to whom my father Akumedeng came from. I welcome them to tell me some jokes in videos such as this video where I am right now, or in local writing. Tell me some jokes about what do you know about Bolakum? What part of Bolakum journey? Because some of the events that I'm talking about happen in real life. The event of Nasser, 1992, happened in real life. The event of Kakuma happened in real life. The against odds of being anything in life happen in real life. And so many other against odds subject matters. So if you're my family or my friends who know something about Bolakum, please don't write my autobiography when I'm dead. Write it while I'm still alive so that I can read some part of stories that I never knew about myself. And I would look forward to share some thoughts and probably will go around school giving educations about matters of strength and faith and resiliency toward survival. So if you find this conversation very interesting, please share it with your friends and share it with your community. Maybe the name Bolakum will be able to provide you an understanding that in this world, historians are not born with silver spoon in their mouth. They come from behind. They come in odd places of life. This is a historian, and I hope to live long enough in this world to be able to be part of that community that always surprise people with their stories. So, all of you, my friends, yesterday we were strangers thanks to social media. Today we are one big giant family of society. I look forward reading your feedback, and it will be so important if I hear a lot of feedback from the community of Dukpadiet, where I come from, and the community of Bor, where I come from, and the community of Nuer, where my mom came from. And Against the Odds will give you mixed messages. It will make you cry, it will make you laugh, it will make you surprised that I had to go through all of that just to finally write it in a simple book for you to be able to understand it. Took me about 20 years in America to even thinking about writing any thought, because each time I'm thinking of writing about a subject matter, I end up finding myself another story begin. I might end up thinking about, oh, this month or this year, I'm going to write about this specific story about life, fantasies, adventure, surprise, comic, politic. By the time I'm in the middle of a book, another story began. So, but with my colleagues and my family, I think I can have final courage to be able to put thought together for our community, to be able to see that you're not alone. We are all in this together. We just happen to experience life differently. Some of you are born with privileges. Some of you have mothers and fathers. And some of us are barely having food to eat. Some of us barely had clothes to wear. Some of us barely had dreams of what the future will look like, because we never believed there will be such a future for people like us. Because future was only measured if you're a son of a priest, son of a general, or son of a president, or son of a minister, or son of a local chief. Then the chances of you succeeding in the future are very high compared to a low-level nobody who doesn't have all those names. And to us, our chances of succeeding is doing things that conventional son of all the mentioned above don't have the courage to do. So if you find my story inspiring, share your thought with me to what exactly I can consider share thought with the rest of the world. And the story is not going to be just South Sudanese story. It will be a story of human being that never have a chance, that the world overlook or never even thought about providing an opportunity. Example of one of the chapter is looking for a job in Juba, which is quite funny. I'm educated than much few generals or much few ambassadors. I grew up here in the West, went to prestigious school, did technical master information, became a diplomatic communication. So I thought with my background, it should not be that hard to find a job. Come to realize none of that mean anything in Juba. In Juba, in order to find a job, you must have an uncle who's inside the system. And your uncle doesn't have to even look at your degree or doesn't even have to look at your resume. They just have to connect which side of your mom is related to me or which side of your father related to me. Like, okay. And then after I got a job, I had people going behind my back. You know, he's half Nuer and he's also half Dinka. Can he be trusted? What does being Nuer or Dinka has to do with my job? So the same goes. The only reason I became a diplomatic communication in United States, it is because there was nobody more qualified than I am in that job. They brought everybody. But I end up beating them with my experience. So they end up just giving me that job at the end of the story. And some of you whom I had the privilege to work with here in the United States for 12 years, seen some of my work. I'm not exaggerating it. But you could see against the all odds, I tend to always come from behind and create a headline stories. So I hope when I put all these ideas together and you read it for yourself, whether you're white, black, Spanish, Indians, South Sudanese, East African, you'll find something that related to your personal struggle as an individual. And it will help you understand you're not alone. There are men like you or there are women like you to whose life is designed to never succeed. But against all the odds, if you have a boiling desire to succeed, you can make it. It doesn't matter what devil is stand on your way. It doesn't matter what devil is stand against you. You'll still make it. You'll still tell the stories. You can still testify some days like me and be able to help another person who is struggling understanding themselves or their identity. So you could see from the vantage point of view from me in specific that belief must be a driving force of your success. You have to believe in yourself. You have to believe that, okay, give it a try. If I fail, and so what? If I fail, and so what? But if you're someone with an attitude of you want to please people, chances are once you fail, you'll be beat up so bad in your search to how you want to win. You'll be so beat up to the point that you don't even know how to get back up. So Against the Art is that kind of book that took me 20 years to try to write. Thought there are some few chapters that are not complete. I'm only asking family members and those who really knows me in real person. I don't want to make it an AI book. I don't want to create any fictional story that's not true. I want to be able just to tell exactly what is true because it will live as a living testimony of my personal character throughout the journey I had lived life. So thank you so much, all of you, my friends on Facebook. Again, this is me, Paul Akum of Akum Did Studio, that you have always known as a friend. To others, I'm the enemy. That's fine. In life, you'll always have enemies. In life, you'll always have friends, but it should never stop you from living life. And if you find this inspiring, share it with your friends to share your thought. And I look forward to reading your feedback. Thank you. May God bless each one of you.